Hey everyone, Tony D and Little Joan here on a Piney podcast. Welcome, South Jersey. Let's get into it. Beer virus. Governor Murphy reacting to Trump downplaying the beer virus. There was an excerpt in Bob Woodward's book that came out today or got talked about today that back in February, Trump had an interview with Woodward and said something like that he tries to downplay the seriousness of the virus or something like that. Yeah, no kidding. What do you think? What do you want him to do? Start a panic? These Democrats are just utterly shameless. And look, the Republicans do it too, right? Wouldn't matter what he said. Everything he says is wrong. Everything he does is wrong. But look at Murphy. Look how angry he looks. I'm sure, it was a chance for him to posture and try to give his bona fides, because I'm sure he wants to run for president. I mean, the Democrats have no one. Why not him? He'd at least be better than Biden, I think. And that's, I don't like him at all, but he at least he's coherent. At least he's, has his mind, has his marbles. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Look, Trump is not going to start a panic. He's going to, and he talks off the cuff. And who knows if Woodward is even being accurate. Woodward, to me, a lot of his credibility's gone out the window with the rest of the media, from my perspective. So, whatever. It's another book, and another person bashes Trump. Another day, another Trump bash, whatever. Meanwhile, Tyrant Phil Murphy has allowed us poor peasants to have Halloween this year. Thank you, Tyrant Phil Murphy of Goldman Sachs. Apparently, it's okay to go to strangers' door for candy, but not okay to exercise the most important right by voting in person. Why didn't you do it by mail? Seems like we could have mailed all the candy. But, Phil Murphy, it is what it is. It's all political. The beer virus is political. And the tide is turning. Because here is NPR. New data shows the beer virus is less lethal than first thought. And finally, it looks like the Democrats and the neoliberals may be turning the boat around slowly. Oh, coming up to November, better turn the faucet off. So, they're going to dump this narrative, and they need to lay some groundwork in order to do so. This has already been established. Everybody, who's not suffering from Trump derangement syndrome or hysterical knows that the virus was not nearly as lethal as first thought. It was first thought it had a 3% death rate. That was coming out of China in early, February, late January maybe. I was reading about it on Zero Hedge. They didn't know. But certainly nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. And in fact, it's probably less. It says right here, scientists have found evidence that the beer virus is less deadly than it first appeared. For Americans infected with the beer virus, chance of dying appears to be less than 1 in 100. No duh. This has been known for at least, I would say, at least a month. Fauci and Birx have already said, go and vote. There's no reason people can't vote in person. So, the beer virus, it's a real thing. It's not a hoax, but it's not going to kill you 99% of the time, especially if you're under 50. I don't have to go it all over again. I keep ranting about it, but it just frustrates me that we're going to go through this until the election's over, and then suddenly you're going to see articles like this. Oh, turns out we overreacted. Who knew? Not us. Not us. We didn't overreact. Some bits of news coming out of the Atlantic City press. Crews are demolishing the former Trump Plaza in Atlantic City. Making way for new casinos. State to give out free overdose reversal drug this month. I guess that's good. I hope like some other drugs that were meant to replace addictive drugs, people don't become addicted to that. There was an earthquake in Monmouth County on Wednesday. Wait a minute, is that today? Oh yeah, it is today. Sorry. Yeah, a coworker of mine said, "Oh yeah, I didn't feel the earthquake, but he lives there, and so that was interesting." They say if the big one hits on the East Coast, we're all going right into the ocean, but who knows? TSA training Wednesday in Hamilton Township could get noisy. Police say. I don't know why. I guess they're gonna pretend to shoot off bullets or something. But apparently that's already been done. This was morning news. Veterans Drive-Through Resource Fair coming to Middle Township. It's a weird thing. Drive-Through Resource Fair. Is it a resource fair for veterans to learn about drive-throughs, or is it for veterans and it just happens to be a drive-through? Is the question. Cape May County Health Department announces flu shot clinics. Yeah, I'm sure people will be lining up for that. Middle Township officials canceled 2020 Harvest Festival. Boo, you shouldn't cancel anything. Nah, not this late. Atlanta County reports 13 beer virus cases, no new deaths. Hooray. Margate Condo, first in state to install ultraviolet light sanitizing technology, they say. Yeah, I mean, this is what should be in every nursing home. It's a shame Phil Murphy didn't spend the money on that. While he's borrowing the billions of dollars to just make the budget work. 7 new cases of beer virus announced Wednesday in Cape May County. Bridgeton semi-annual citywide cleanup is set for September 9th. And finally, steady rise in PATCO ridership prompts reopening of South Jersey Speed Line stations. Hooray! For those of you who don't live in the area, the PATCO is a train that goes from Lindenwold in South Jersey, goes to a bunch of South Jersey towns, and eventually gets to Philadelphia. The big thing to do back in the day was to take it to 8th and Market, and then you could walk through the station, staying inside, and get to the gallery in Philadelphia. And the gallery, I think that was the first food court in the area. It was a big mall, and had this enormous food court, which, like, at the time, back in the 80s, it was like, wow. But unfortunately now it's not as cool. Malls are going away to the dodo. But there's still plenty of stuff there. If you go there in the morning, there's all sorts of stuff going on around 8th and Market. And then you could take the train further. You could take it to Locust, which I guess used to be a happening area. It's not so happening. I mean, people live there. It's not a bad neighborhood. It's just, it's just Locust. And then at Locust and Broad, you can catch the Broad Street line. Then you can get around the rest of the city on the subway in Philly. So Ashland, Westmont, and City Hall Camden stations in Camden County are now scheduled to reopen at midnight on Monday, as well as the 12th, 13th, and Locust Street station in Center City, Philadelphia. I guess they had those closed during the beer virus. There's no big deal for really Ashland, because the Ashland station is literally down maybe, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a mile from the Lindenwold station, half mile at the most. And then the Westmont station is is between Haddonfield and Collingswood. And again, maybe a mile, half mile between them, if you know where they are. And then City Hall Camden, I'm surprised they closed that one, because that's where everybody goes to go to jury duty. So that must have been a pain in the neck. I believe that's the station you get off. It's either that one or the one right after, but I'm pretty sure it's City Hall Camden. I think there's only 2 stops in Camden, right? I believe. But good. I'm glad to see the PATCO's open. You can go to Philadelphia and, I don't know, be accosted on the street by Antifa as you eat in a restaurant, most likely. But not in South Jersey. No, so far we've been, knock on wood, pretty lucky here. Antifa is considered a terrorist organization in the state of New Jersey, and so far, no big explosions or anything like that. So hopefully it stays that way. That's it from South Jersey Pineys. I hope you enjoyed the Piney podcast. Smash like and subscribe if you did. Please check out my books, Wokistan, a novel, and of course the Pineys. Books 1, 2, 3, and 4 available, ebook, trade paperback, Kindle, Unlimited is free, all at Amazon.com. Check out the links in the description. We will see you tomorrow. Say bye, Joan. Joan. She's asleep.